And I like that little IRS code. All right, definitions. A virus is a program that does something malicious to your computer, something you don't want your computer to do. Adware displays unwanted ads on your computer. I'm sure all of you have had experience with pop-up ads and things like that. Spyware, it tracks things that your computer does to assist the adware or for them to be able to market specific ads to you. A worm is a program that worms its way into your computer, destroying your files. A Trojan is used to find financial information, taking over your system, or denial of service attacks. We'll talk about that in a little while. Oh, and I'm a huge fan of animation, so yay. All right, a backdoor is a program that allows access to your computer through the internet that you have no control over. It basically opens up a port that anybody can type into and connect to your computer. A keylogger, it records all your keystrokes, your password, your credit card numbers, your account information, and sends it back to the creator. These are extremely dangerous, and you really want to be careful what kind of information people are able to get from you. Rogue security software is software that looks like virus protection, but it's the exact opposite. It'll normally have pop-ups saying, oh, we found viruses on your computer. You need to call this number and activate this so we can get rid of them. That's actually just a phishing attempt to get your credit card information or to install actual viruses on your computer. So it's easy for them to create a program that looks like security software that they use to try to get a virus on your computer or get any of these programs on there. And then browser hijackers forward your internet browser to a fake page. So if you normally have Yahoo as your home page, it'll look like you're going to Yahoo, but it's actually like a fake version of it that they have keyloggers set into, and you'll pretty much be giving away your information if you log into it. All right, now why would you be targeted for any of this stuff? Because you have connections. They want to be able to get everybody that you know also infected. They want you to help them get more people. They also don't know who you are normally. They just want access to as many people as they possibly can get access to. And they just like watching the world burn. There's also monetary, and we'll get into that once we get into ransomware. Okay, what is the hacker after? What do they want, and why do they do what they do? They want to take control of your email so they can send more emails out to infect new systems using a legitimate email that people trust. So if somebody gets an email from cmueller@taasa.org, they're not going to question that. But if they get an email from cmueller@taasa.hack.47.3.me, they're not going to want to click on that one. So basically, they're using your legitimacy to propagate more viruses out there. They want to install a program so they can use your computer's processing power for nefarious purposes, or they want to ransom your files. Now, when they get a program on your computer that uses your processing, they can use it to digitally mine currency. I'm sure y'all have heard of Bitcoin or any of those digital currencies that are out there. To actually get any of those Bitcoins, they need to do a thing called mining, where it does a bunch of really complicated math equations, and I don't actually understand it, but they need a lot of computers that do this, and it takes up a lot of resources. So If they can get other people's computers to do it, they're saving themselves money. They don't have to pay for the power that it takes. And basically, you're helping them get rich on money that doesn't really exist, but people think does. A DDoS attack, distributed denial of service. This is where they have a bunch of different computers trying to get onto a web page. So let's say they're really mad at Google. They can have thousands of computers hitting the Google login page at the same time, and that keeps actual legitimate people from being able to access the website because it's being basically pounded by thousands of fake accounts that are overloading it pretty much. And they just want to access all your data. So your computer saves passwords, your computer saves your credit card info, saves your login for your bank accounts, and they get access to all of that. They are able to access your computer. So, it's basically they want to steal your information. All right, ransomware. This is very, very nasty. This can get onto your computer, change all of your files. It will lock you out of your files completely. It takes, a .doc and turns it into something random that you can never access again, unless you pay them money. It changes the file type, and it does that to all your files. And if you leave it up long enough, connected to your internet, it can do that to everything on your network, and it's extremely bad. It's an encrypted technology. Some companies have created keys to unlock them, but these ransomware programs are so prevalent that it's almost impossible for them to keep up. And you could wait a couple weeks and hope that one of the big virus groups does have the encryption for it, but there's no guarantee that will ever happen. The FBI does not suggest you pay the ransom. You will get a thing that says, we've locked out your files, and if you want them back, you need to pay us $2,000 or something like that, and they'll give you the key to unlock it. But again, FBI says don't pay because they don't like to get people doing things like that.
Curtis, can I interrupt you here?
Yeah, sure.
If you store all your information in the cloud, will that prevent it?
No, but that's actually the easiest way to get your stuff back.
Okay.
So we're about to go over that.
I'm sorry I jumped ahead. I was just going, okay, what do I do to keep this safe? Okay, thanks.
Yep, no worries. All right, so what can you do if you're hit with ransomware? All right, if you have Office 365 and your files are saved to OneDrive, Microsoft will help you roll back to those files. It does take a while, though. They do need proof of what files you used to have, and it could take anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months for them to get it back to you. All right, if you do notice that you have all of your files basically locked, disconnect the machine from your network. Do a full system restore back to factory status so you completely get rid of the ransomware. And always, always, always keep backups of important files, either in the cloud or on removable hard drive or flash drive. So if there's things that you never want to lose, make sure that you're keeping them somewhere else. It's definitely smart to always have backups, as many as you can. All right, now we're going to talk about hacking. This is what we think hacking looks like. Somebody sitting there just, I'm going to get all your stuff. This is the most common form of hacking. A phone call, casual phone call. And the easiest way for them to access your account is phone call. Hello, I'm with so-and-so. We have some suspicious activity on your computer and need to verify your password to make sure it's nothing sinister. That's pretty crazy. Like somebody's calling and saying like, oh yeah, we've noticed there's something going on, and just verify that it's you and we'll be able to fix it. A lot of people when they get that kind of phone call, are going to freak out because, oh my God, I'm being hacked. And they will get the information, which never, ever, ever give a password out over the phone, no matter what. No company will ever ask it legitimate. They'll also say something like, hey, your password was changed. Verify your old password so we can set it back. Again, don't give out any kind of passwords. If you do think that you were hacked, go to the website, the official website, and try to log in. If something's wrong, then contact their help people. Google and anybody like that will never call you. They're never going to be proactive when it comes to something like that. So if you are hacked, you need to contact them. If they contact you, it's probably a scam. And, if they're only asking for your password, that puts some people at ease, but they don't need your login name because they know how your company sets it. So, if somebody says, hey, we noticed your TAASA account was hacked, what's your password? They already know that it would be first name, first initial last name, and the fact that they don't need everything, you're kind of like, oh, cool, yeah, no, I'm sure this is legitimate. But again, don't ever give your password out over the phone or in an email or basically ever. They can also guess your password. You want to know how they can guess your password? Password safety. Don't reuse the same password for everything. I know it's really easy to do. It's really convenient to always have the same password, but if somebody gives access to your Yahoo account and you use the exact same password, they're going to be able to get access to every other account that you ever have. The most commonly used password in the world is password 123, and that's sad. But again, it's the most commonly used. Now, if you do substitute symbols for letters, it makes it a lot more complicated for people. In this case, if we were going to do password 123, we do capital P, at, money, word, exclamation mark, 2, number sign. But don't actually use that, because that's too easy. The more symbols included, the harder it is to guess. It's really easy to, like if your password is monkey, and you capitalize every other letter, and you change like the Y to a @ sign or anything like that, it makes it so much more complicated. You can also use password lockers to save sites like LastPass or 1Password. They will auto-generate a password for you, and you can always look it up on your phone if you forget it, and they're very safe. So if you do decide to go the route where you don't use the same password for everything, I would definitely recommend one of those programs. All right, now who else should have access to your password? Absolutely nobody, ever, under any circumstances, should have access. It doesn't matter if it's your boss, your IT person, they should never have access. Your password should only be your password. But if something happens to you and your program needs to access your email, they can do that. They don't need your password. They can go in a mailbox sharing in Office 365. Your IT person can reset your password so they can have access to it and then set it back to something you pick later. So if they don't want to go that route, they might just be lazy. And you should definitely recommend that they have other options instead of asking you for your password. Phishing. Now, why is it called phishing? Because they're attempting to phish your information by asking simple things. And the reason it's spelled this way is because hackers back in the day thought PH was cool. So they did a lot of spelling things differently to set themselves apart from normal people. Phishing tactics. Fake email. I'm sure all of you have received something that looks legitimate, that you're like, no, that doesn't feel right. So it could be, an invoice from somebody that says, hey, by the way, you forgot to pay us this month. Go ahead and click this link and go ahead and pay us. Those are always fake. So, if you receive anything that says, oh, you forgot to pay us money, don't ever download any attachments from somebody you don't know. And even if it is somebody you know, check with them first. So you never want to download a .zip file, a .doc. They can turn any of those into virus programs that get onto your computer. Now, I'm sure all of you have heard about those Nigerian prince emails. Those ones are still extremely prevalent because people fall for them all the time. And it's basically an email that says, hey, I need to get $50 million out of the country because the country is corrupt and I'm not, and I want us to be good friends. So if you send me $1,000, I'll send you $50 million. People have been falling for this since the internet first came out, and people have actually been killed because of this, because they wanted to go over to that country and get their money. And it turns out that there's no Nigerian princes or anything like that. So never fall for anything that seems too good to be true. Now, there's the assist email, getting the money out of the country. And why does phishing work? Because people don't want to miss out on a good thing. If you think you have the chance to get $50 million, what's $1,000 if you can afford to lose it? But again, there's never in the history of the internet been a time that a royalty person actually did need to get $50 million out of their country and needed your help, a stranger that they've never met before. So, I don't think you'll be the first one that it ever actually works out for, and I definitely wouldn't recommend trying. People are greedy. Again, $50 million sounds like a lot of money, and probably would be if it was real. And scare tactics. This is where we get into the IRS and Microsoft and Windows technical support. The IRS phishing. I'm sure some of you have received this phone call, a terrible recording that says, this is the IRS. We are suing you because you owe us money. Call us back with instruction. For one thing, the IRS would never call you because they can garnish your wages. They don't need to call you. But if you do make a phone call, if you do call them back, they say you owe them a lot of money and they need you to pay it through Western Union or Walmart gift cards. Again, the IRS will not call you. They use certified mail if they need to contact you, and they can garnish your wages. They don't need Walmart gift cards. So this one, a lot of people fall for it because it's scary sounding. It's the IRS. Everybody knows the IRS is the enemy. So when they get a phone call from the IRS, they freak out. That, oh my God, I can't believe I screwed up my taxes, and I probably went to jail. Yeah, this is just a fear tactic, and your best bet is to ignore these phone calls. But again, it really is the IRS that probably sent somebody for us. Now, Windows phishing. These ones are really prevalent right now. This is where you get a phone call that says your Windows account has expired. They need you to call to renew it, or you won't have access to any of your programs anymore. Now, you can tell that this is a scam because Windows and other services don't expire. So once you have Windows 10, you've got Windows 10 forever. When you have Office 2013, you have it forever. Now, it's possible with Office 365 that maybe you forgot to pay, but again, Windows isn't going to call you. They're going to send you an email, and again, you can ignore these. Ignore those calls. And my absolute favorite are the Microsoft technical support calls. I get these a couple times a week. You'll get a phone call that says, we've noticed a lot of errors on your computer. We'll help you fix them. Again, Microsoft would not call you. They do walk you through pulling up Event Viewer. I'll show you a screenshot of what that looks like in a little while. They convince you that there's something wrong with your computer. And they ask you to install a program so they can fix it. Now, the biggest issue here is by installing this program, you're doing their work for them. So they're able to take control of your computer. They're able to look at all your files. They're able to do everything. Now, this one, a lot of people fall for it because computers are magic. And they think that, oh my God, if there's something wrong and that these people know about it, they're going to help me. Well, Microsoft, Windows, none of them. If you do have a virus, it's your problem. It's not anything they care about. They're never going to call you to help you. You can call them and have them walk you through it. But again, they're not going to be proactive. They don't care. They've got your money. They aren't ever going to call you and say, hey, we noticed something's going wrong. And so never, ever, ever fall for this. They'll take over your machine, steal password, bank information, everything. Now, this is what Event Viewer looks like. This is what they walk you through. And if you notice, there's errors on there. And errors are scary, you know, because, again, computer is magic and it's not working properly. You know, they could probably blow up or do all sorts of things that people that aren't too computer savvy think they could do. An Event Viewer actually logs everything that ever happens on your computer. So, you know, the time that one of your programs crash, it's going to be in here. So they're basically walking you through seeing a log of everything that's ever happened to your computer. And of course, there's going to be errors because computers aren't magic. They're something that can break and things go wrong. So this is basically them showing you that, hey, yeah, because we called you, we want to show you for sure that there are errors. And, you know, this convinces you that, oh, yeah, they're right. I need their help. But you don't because this is completely normal. And these people, the best thing to do if you have extra time is just waste their time. Like, make them walk you through absolutely every step, like, as slowly as possible. Like, wait, I typed where? The what? E, D, E, and I've managed to waste at least an hour of one of their time. And, or, you know, just hang up on it. It's up to you. Now, what can you do if you get a virus? In most cases, your IT person can remove it with legitimate virus protection programs, and hopefully y'all all have legitimate virus protection programs on your computers. You can Google how to remove it and follow the steps. Make sure you have active security on your computer. There's free options out there. Avast, Adaware, just the first two that come up under A. And there's many more out there, but make sure you go with a legitimate program by Googling. And wow, that was a lot faster than I thought it would be. All right, so let's go over any questions y'all have. And if there's anything I need to go deeper into, let me know. I have never heard of that blackmail one. That sounds interesting. But wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, if it's definitely not true, then, you know, nobody just call them out on it. Just be like, yeah, they're go for it. They all know. We do that for work.
Well, usually what I do, Curtis, when I receive stuff like this is that A, for me, this is Wendy from TAASA speaking. If I want to go use some stuff that I'm researching, I will either go to the police department or, from a secure website that they have, web viewer that they have. And so I was like, what? But I asked the local law enforcement what I should do about it, and they just said, forget it. You can turn it in or forward it to law enforcement or to the DA's office or the AG's office. Nothing's going to be done because it's so prevalent.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
That's really cool. I'm definitely going to have to look into that. I've never gotten those emails.
I think I deleted them, but if I have it, I'll forward one to you.
Cool. Okay. All right.
Okay.
Any others? Are there? I guess I can cover a couple other scams that are out there. Let's see.
Okay. Ashley is saying that they actually do send an old password that was hacked through one of the bigger scams, which is true. And
Yeah.
I have been pawned might be a good resource for people to learn about passwords, for people to learn when passwords have been compromised and where they may need to change passwords. I never
That's
heard of
true.
that.
Yeah. Have I been pwned? Yeah, that's a good resource. I'll add that in here for checking to see if your information has been hacked. And I know some of those places that like SiteLock, they now say that they'll do like a dark web scraping to see if your information is there. I don't know how good those actually are because, the dark web is supposed to be an extremely hidden, secretive thing, but, maybe it's possible that they really can do that. But normally, if anything comes up about the dark web or deep web, I pretty much ignore it because it's just a lot of this. It's possible that this happens on there and not too much proof. All right, and anybody here that has a vehicle, odds are you'll get phone calls from the warranty department that, hey, your warranty is about to expire. We need you to renew it with us. Never ever do that because the warranty department, for one thing, isn't an official department with your actual vehicle. So basically, if you sign up with them, they'll do their best to not pay for any of your issues with your car because they make their money by getting you to sign up and then not actually honoring any of the work that you've done. So pretty much any phone call that you get that you don't actually ask for, don't sign up for it. Nobody's gonna call you and, hey, yeah, we just want to give you a loan. I've been getting a lot from the grants department lately, and the government grants department. And if you actually follow that one, it's basically just them sending you to an internet college that's trying to get you to sign up. So, I've done the legwork so you don't have to.
Okay. There's a question here. Tracy wants to know what security programs can be downloaded to keep most of this at bay, and what do you personally think of ad blockers?
I like Avast, actually. Avast is free. That's actually what TAASA uses. And just download the free version. Of course, they're going to try to get you to sign up for a paid version, but the free version is truly all you need to block pop-ups and things like that and take care of any viruses that you could possibly be downloading.
And ad blockers?
Ad blockers, yes. That one I kind of like AdAware, even though, like I said, it's one of the very first ones that'll pop up, but it does the job, and again, it has a great free version. And no, Lisa, I would definitely recommend just blocking the number and marking it as spam. And that's also a good rule of thumb. A Google phone number is one that you can give out for things that you don't actually want to be contacted for. Um, so you just go to Google Phone and sign up for a free number, and you can. I have it set up on my phone where it never rings. It doesn't tell me I get anything. So yeah, Google Talk. I'm sorry. And yeah, that one you just give that number out if you're signing up for something. You can also have throwaway email addresses that you give out if you're signing up for something that you never check. And yeah, I personally have something like 9 different email addresses. And depending on if I actually want to be able to be contacted, I'll give them one. And if I don't care, I give them one that, again, I never check. So it's just having a email out there. Yeah, always check your Facebook connected apps. Yeah, I'd recommend both Avast and AdAware.
There is another question here. It says, what is it called to have the best security?
Sorry, what's the question?
The way it's written, and Shirley, if she says, what is it called to have the best security? Maybe the best, I think you answered it, Avast or AdAware. I'm guessing the program. Shirley, is that correct? Okay, and then Alicia says that she keeps a check on her Facebook connected apps, and you may see some that you have never set up.
Yeah, that's pretty common that if you're signing up for something, you just automatically say, oh, yeah, Facebook can have access to it. And you probably want to go through and make sure that all the programs that you've authorized are ones that you're actually using. I know I've set up like cooking ones that I don't cook, so I'm not sure why those are connected to like a cookbook app. But yeah, you can just go through and like unconnect ones that you don't use anymore or that you never gave access to.
Okay. Alicia, thank you. There is a website that teaches you about cookies and psychrometrics. I'm sorry, I kind of stumbled over that word, and I think that's wonderful. And there is an app called Citizen Me that will show you how much data you have available. Cool. Thank you, Lisa.
Cool.
Okay.
I guess for the next one, we can always do ways to keep your information safe using Google Talk and things like that. That would be a good one. Like we actually at the Rate Crisis Center in San Antonio, we have Google Talk set up for our. We have it set up so the advocates can check in when they're on call, and then we have a different one that we don't want our counselors to be able to get a phone call. So when they make a phone call out, it shows the Google number, and then if someone tries to call back, it says it's not a number that receives phone calls. So And those are both free. So it's pretty great.
All right. Anybody else have any advice, opinions, stories to share, questions to ask? Thank you. We appreciate you sharing your stuff. Okay, here's one. How do you check the apps that have access to Facebook?
That's a great question. Let's pull up Facebook. Oh no, I'm auto logged in. Two-factor authentication. That's how you keep yourself safe. Things like that. Or you have to do a code generator. Oops. My son had turned off my number lock, of course. Oh, no.
And Curtis, while you're doing this, there's another question. How safe is it to set backup passwords with Google?
That's pretty safe as long as you're, as long as you can keep your Google account safe. There we go. Apps. Man, I haven't done any apps yet. Okay, that's a lot of things I don't use. Wow. I have a lot of apps set up on my Facebook.
So in other words, what I'm hearing is to check the apps on your Facebook page. You go to Facebook, you go to apps, and under filters, there's a list of things, and you can just take them off.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Cool. Anything else? Or anything that y'all would want me to cover in another one?
Okay. Well, we've got y'all are so welcome. I appreciate your attendance. Curtis, do you have anything you want to add? Let me see. There's something. Candace said, I think another one would be to educate on how someone can track an individual via the internet or the phone. In other words, internet stalking. Candace, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that would be a good one too.
Okay.
We could do a internet stalking / how to become anonymous on the internet, basically.
Okay. Well, Curtis, sounds like you've been tasked with some more stuff.
Cool.
Okay. Any other questions? We're going to hang out for a few more minutes. If you have any other questions, please chat them in. I'm going to keep it open. You should see it, but I'm also going to put up the post test. Great. I hope you can join us too, Alicia. Thank you so much for your input today. I am going to launch the post test right now, and y'all can keep chatting away. Okay, there's a question here, Curtis. Is there a good place to really educate ourselves on the apps that are so popular and so scary? For those of us that do education regarding internet safety and online predators.
I know a lot of the predators have been using the different really popular kid chat programs like WeChat, Whisper, things like that. And there was a website called Moco Space where a lot of children were being victimized because it seems to be set up basically as a really cheap version of Backspace, which was already a really cheap version of Craigslist. Moco Space is where a lot of people would go to. Originally, it was built up to play games, but they've kind of turned it into a, hey, I need to earn $20 to pay my bill. Who wants to give me $20 and get, a lot of people that are willing to pay $20 to somebody, and parents still think it's kind of a gaming website, but it's used more for nefarious purposes and trying to get children into human trafficking lately. Same with WeChat and Whisper, because they're supposed to be anonymous, but of course people are going to, hey, I like what you said, and unfortunately younger people don't have self-esteem to, if somebody says that, hey, what you're saying is real deep, they're going to be like, oh yeah, we should be friends and hang out. So they're using those kind of sites to catch children, other people that are a little bit less like self-esteem oriented.
Okay, NCMEC, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. If you go onto your favorite engine, I'm placing it up there, has some really great archived webs and trainings on how children are traced through the internet and snatched. And it takes a predator maybe all of 18 minutes, I think they said, to find a child that they want to target, and how it's done. And it's really scary and disgusting and ickiness all at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. But NCMEC is an excellent resource. Okay. Anything else? Well, Curtis, thank you so much for your time and the energy that you put into this and the willingness to do more webinars. I look forward to them. And for everyone else here, I'm going to terminate. I'm going to take down the post test, and in an hour you should receive, look for the follow-up email that will contain the evaluation. Please send it in, a link to the certificate, and a link to the PowerPoint. Thank you so much. Curtis, I'm taking over now.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Thank you.